time we did the area of a rectangle and we counted all the squares and we ended up doing base times height, right? So this one was 10 times 5, 50. Well, what if I want to find the total surface area of a rectangular prism, like this? I'm going to use this one that you all recognize. It has a square on the top, square on the bottom, rectangles all around. How many sides does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like a cube, but stretched out. So I'm going to use this one. You could really use any rectangular prism in your house, like a book. It's just a fancy name for box, isn't it? Huh. So I'm going to find out how much area this has, including all 6 surfaces. So first I want to build it. This is the fun part. I'm going to trace it. So I'm going to put my rectangle down here, or my prism. Okay, trace one side. Easy enough. But the deal is, I trace this one. I've got 4 of those. So I'm just gonna roll it over, share a side. I'll hold up my paper in a minute so you can see that. And I'm gonna roll again until I get all 4. One more. Okay. So I have all 4, but now I need to get the bases on there, right? The top and bottom. Is there a different shape? A square. So I'm just gonna pick any one of these rectangles, it doesn't matter which one, and attach my base to it like that, okay? There's one, and I need one more. Okay, what happened? My paper turned pink. Just kidding. My other paper was too small. I had to go get a big piece. So anyway, I traced it. Here you go. Now, before we cut it out, now we've got to calculate the area. So I'm going to need to measure some bases and some heights, right? Because I have a lot of rectangles going on. But first I need to make sure, remember this had 6 faces? I need to make sure I have 6 sections on my paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good to go. I'm gonna move the camera closer so you can see all the numbers I'm writing. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this rectangle here. And I'm just, oh here, I'll do the, measure the base right here. Looks like 6 centimeters. So I'm just gonna put 6 cm, and then I'm gonna measure the height. Looks like 10 to me. 10 cm. Hey, so base times height, 6 times 10. I know some of you are shouting, 60 centimeters squared. Now, when I get to that is only for this rectangle, right? I've got another rectangle. I could measure that base and height again, but something funny's gonna happen. Guess what? 6 and 10. It's the exact same as that one. So I'm just gonna shortcut. What about that one? Uh-huh. See how easy this is? Hey, what about that one? I really only had to figure out one of them. Okay, but the squares are going to be different. So let's check this one out. Oh, 6, of course. How did we know that was going to be 6? Because that matches these. Right there, 6, 6, these are the same. And it's a square, so we know this one's going to be 6 also, but let's just prove it. Yep, 6 centimeters, easy peasy. Does anyone remember 6 times 6 from math facts? 6 times 6 is 36. Okay. So this square is the same, but if you want to check, you can. 6 by 6. Okay. So to figure out the whole surface area of this gigantic rectangular prism, I now have to do a giant addition problem, right? I need 4 60s, oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a 36 and a 36. Oh, I'm gonna run out of space. And it's just a giant addition problem. Remember, it looks scary, but it's not because there's so many zeros. Hey everybody, what's 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0? Right? So really all we have to do is 6 plus 6, which is 12. So you put the 2 here and the 1 at the top. Oh boy, now that one's a little harder. Whew. Does anyone know 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4? 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 12, 24. Now I'm going to go catch this one. 25 plus 3, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 1 goes here and the 30 goes over here. This whole rectangular prism is 312 square centimeters. And I'm going to circle it so I can find it later because now I get to cut it out. And we'll see what happens. So I cut it out. There's one thing I forgot to mention is that when you cut it out, only cut around the outside of the shape. Very important. So I'm going to just remove it so you know what I'm talking about. Just around the very outside. If there are lines in the middle, don't cut them. We need that. So when you cut it out, it all ends up being one piece, right? But these lines are your fold lines. So every time you see a line now, we're going to fold it over carefully. Because we are actually going to build this prism, and these are super fun. It's like the world's easiest origami, right? Super easy. All the lines are right there. Okay, and then all you need is 1 or 2 pieces of tape. Not very much. Not very much. See how it just kind of folds right together? Just kind of curl it up. Put a little at the top. Okay, that's a little bit tricky. I can do it. Yes. One here. And 1 more. Okay, so it took me 3 tiny pieces of tape, which is plenty. They match? Pretty good, huh? Yee. So like I said, at home, you can do any small box you can find, and you want to pick a small one so that it fits on your paper. Like even this ran off of my regular piece of paper. So if you have construction paper, that's awesome, but most of us don't have that sitting around the house. So you might want to pick something small. At my house, I picked a deck of cards. I happened to find one with the box, and it came out like this. Its area was 168 square centimeters. Wow, that's way less than this one, which was 312. Interesting, because this one's a lot skinnier, right? And shorter. Wow. What you might want to do is a series of small objects, maybe from your pantry or your bedroom, and then line them up. Biggest to smallest, smallest to biggest. Have fun.